there with his shirt off, with his shorts on. There's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. Now, the mass and the striations and the vascularity.
This version of him did, but like this version definitely didn't.
Having trained with Manny Pacquiao had to be a huge asset for you.
But he's always bouncing, he's always moving around.
Yes.
Like he'll bounce for like 20-something rounds. He'll do his pads and he's jumping up and down, and he really is an unbelievable person, unbelievable athlete, and a legend of the sport. I think as time progresses, people are really gonna appreciate.
In a recent conversation, Joe Rogan shared his admiration for Manny Pacquiao's incredibly developed calf muscles and the exceptionally lean physique that has become one of the boxing icon's most recognizable physical traits.
Able to have an opportunity like that to spar 250 rounds with one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he won world titles in what, 8 divisions?
8 divisions, 13 or 14 world titles.
Crazy.
It will never be done again.
Crazy.
And as much as you want to see records broken, and I want to break records, that man is a one of one.
He's a one of one. I mean, when he knocked down Thurman in that fight, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power. It's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position. And all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez. A lot of that, sparring paid off, and it did shape me. And I know he did put out a tweet as well saying that I hope the sparring we did, helped you in this fight, and straight away.
That's amazing.
And I was so excited. He's a legend of the sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah.
When you look
massive.
At that, they're giant. Yeah. They're like a thigh.
Rogan suggested that Pacquiao's outstanding conditioning could play an important role if the two fighters eventually meet in the ring. He highlighted the former champion's explosive athleticism and the physical advantages that helped him secure world championships across 8 separate weight divisions.
In 8 different weight classes. Who the f does that?
And the way he did it, I'm a huge fan of Cotto. I love this school, and the way that he beat Cotto, I didn't think nobody could ever do that to him. And it was just like, bro, what the f?
Well, his legs, Manny's legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah, and the hand
crazy.
speed, the power,
speed, everything.
I just always wish that the Mayweather Pacquiao.
Any matchup involving Pacquiao would likely be influenced by the elite level of fitness he brings into competition. His remarkable physique is not the result of natural talent alone. Instead, it reflects countless years of demanding workouts, unwavering dedication, and a relentless commitment to training at the highest level.
Does his sparring, but then he's on the bag, he's on the shadow boxing, he's there doing the pad work. So the extra rounds just builds that conditioning and that stamina. And that's what I just found, that push more rounds. If the body can keep going, push more and more.
Pacquiao follows a rigorous workout routine that begins before sunrise with intense uphill running sessions. These challenging exercises have played a major role in building the powerful calf muscles and exceptional athletic physique for which he is widely recognized.
And why? Because in General Santos, the mountains that he runs and that steep hill, that's why they're so big. Because he's always constantly running the mountains. And I was doing the mountain runs with him.
Yeah.
My calf started getting bigger and bigger.
In addition to his uphill running workouts, Manny Pacquiao takes part in a variety of physically demanding training exercises. His program features long-distance runs combined with explosive sprint drills, each designed to improve stamina, speed, and overall athletic performance.
Magilis. Sanayin mo yung paa mo, sanayin mo. Kita ginasaya natin. No excuses.
Saya nga, alas 5, ngit-ngit pa, jogging.
Kaya may strong kasi ito, strong yellow.
Although he has often been smaller than many of the fighters he competes against, Manny Pacquiao's relentless training and exceptional conditioning have helped him develop a physique and ring presence that remain intimidating to virtually any opponent.
He can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter,
He's rapping again.
junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. Yeah. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody. Yeah. Pacquiao, to me, other than Sugar Ray Robinson, he's still one. Pacquiao is the greatest pound-for-pound fighter who ever lived. I can't put Floyd above him.
Yeah.
Any beef?
I agree with you on that. I mean, I've always had Manny Pacquiao above Floyd pound for pound, and just in the history of boxing, you never heard of a guy that can go from those weight classes and still dominate. Knocking out Cotto, knocking out Ricky Hatton with one shot, destroying Oscar De La Hoya.
Destroying.
I mean, like, made him look like he was.
Joe Rogan also praised Manny Pacquiao's career accomplishments, pointing to his victory over Keith Thurman as one of the most remarkable achievements of his later years. Rogan highlighted how impressive it was for Pacquiao to defeat a fighter in his athletic prime while competing in his 40s.
Thurman in that fight, I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power. It's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position. And all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez. A lot of that, sparring paid off and it did shape me. And I know he did put out a tweet as well saying that I hope the sparring we did, helped you in this fight, and straight away.
That's amazing.
And I was so excited. He's a legend of the sport.
He is a legend, and he's such an unusual guy. You know what's crazy about him is his calves.
Yeah,
when you look
massive.
At that, they're giant. They're like a thigh.
And
According to Rogan, Pacquiao's ability to stay ahead of younger fighters comes from a combination of exceptional hand speed, outstanding fight IQ, and years of experience inside the ring. He noted that these qualities have allowed Pacquiao to consistently perform at a world-class level and overcome opponents who are significantly younger.
He won world titles in 8 divisions?
8 divisions, 13 or 14 world titles.
Crazy.
It will never be done again.
Crazy.
And as much as you want to see records broken, and I want to break records, that man is.
Teddy Atlas has spoken with great admiration about Manny Pacquiao's unique legacy in the sport, stressing that a fighter's age should not define their greatness, especially when evaluating someone with Pacquiao's extraordinary accomplishments. Atlas emphasized that athletes like Manny are exceptionally rare, describing him as a truly unique figure in boxing history.
One of a kind. And I would not bet, I wouldn't be shocked to see him do something that is very, very, could be, very unlikely that at 46 years of age that he could.
Atlas also points out that Pacquiao is surrounded by a highly knowledgeable group that includes coaches, healthcare specialists, and former world champions. According to him, none of these individuals would support his return to competition if they felt it posed a risk to his health or if they believed his abilities had significantly declined. Atlas adds that those closest to Pacquiao have watched him closely throughout training camp and continue to see signs of the extraordinary talent that has defined his career.
Camp, and that they've seen something special. They've seen a 46-year-old that maybe they thought when camp started, hey, this is wrong. But it's Manny Pacquiao, we're going to go along with and see how it looks. And then all of a sudden they say, oh my God, it's possible. Oh my God, Manny, you're starting to make me think maybe it's possible. I'm going to hope that he's got people around him of that ilk, of human beings, not just professionals, but human beings that have seen something to continue to go forward with this fight. Or if they didn't, would have said, you know what? No, I can't be part of this. So just on that alone, I'm gonna have hope for them. I'm gonna give them credit that
Roy Jones Jr. has long respected boxers who possess a deep understanding of the sport, and he considers Manny Pacquiao to be one of the most intelligent fighters to ever step into the ring. Jones praises Pacquiao's ability to create angles, manage range effectively, and make use of every part of the ring, describing those skills as being among the very best in boxing. He also notes that Pacquiao has remained dedicated to training and has kept himself in excellent condition despite not competing on a regular basis. According to Jones, if Pacquiao can carry the level of performance he displays in training into an actual fight and sustain that intensity throughout all 12 rounds, he would be a serious contender with a genuine opportunity to come out victorious.
Dictionary. All right, man is always on the move. You understand me? What has happened in boxing is a lot of people have lost the art of footwork. Right. You understand me? Not many people have footwork. So if you see a guy go out and box like you'll never see in today's time too often, a guy go out and box like Sugar Ray Leonard boxed Marvin Hagler. Right. He moved around, he fought when it was time, he moved when it was time. He understood how to use the whole ring to get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. Nowadays, with how things go, and with Manny being who Manny is, if Manny can get to 12 rounds.
According to his evaluation, winning at this stage is not determined solely by raw athletic talent. Instead, it relies heavily on strategic thinking, physical stamina, and the ability to carry out a game plan effectively, areas in which Manny Pacquiao continues to perform at an exceptionally high level.
Manny has one of the bigger outputs for any fighter of any era. Right. He's a guy that don't mind throwing 3 and 4 and 5 punches at a time. He's not one of those guys that won't throw 4 or 5 punches if he see it. That being said, the only concern I have is how will his...
In his view, Manny's greatest strength is not limited to his hand speed or punching force, but comes from the completeness of his overall game. From footwork and punch combinations to defensive skills and ring awareness, Pacquiao consistently demonstrates a high level of ability across every aspect of boxing. What stands out most to Benavidez, however, is his determination. He notes that every movement, every punch, and every workout is carried out with purpose and commitment. That same attitude extends throughout his training camp, where preparation, sparring, and discipline remain top priorities. Benavidez believes that the combination of dedication, versatility, and physical conditioning is the reason Pacquiao continues to be a dangerous competitor for any opponent.
Manny Pacquiao special is that he does everything so good. He has great footwork, he has good ring IQ, good defensive slips, good combinations, and I think most importantly of all, he's in there willing to go to war with anybody. So that's really what makes him more important. The most special thing about him is his spirit and his will to fight. I think Manny Pacquiao at age 46 is going to look amazing in my opinion. He has all the experience in the world. He's seen every single fighter, and if he's coming back at 46, it's because he definitely wants to come back and win another world title. I think that one of the oldest world champions has been Bernard Hopkins when he fought at age 49. So, you know, Pacquiao is barely 46 right now. He's a young 46. So I think, you know, he still has a lot.
Jim Lampley described Floyd Mayweather's strategy as a deliberate choice not to aggressively pursue a bout with Manny Pacquiao during the earlier stages of their careers. According to Lampley, the lengthy period before the two eventually shared the ring, lasting about 11 years, gave Pacquiao additional time to age while Mayweather remained nearer to the height of his abilities. He argued that this delay may have benefited Mayweather by helping preserve advantages in reaction speed, timing, and overall performance. Lampley emphasized that factors such as age and the moment a fight takes place can play a major role in determining results. He also noted that waiting for an opponent to move further from their prime while maintaining one's own competitive level can be an effective tactic, even if it is rarely discussed openly within boxing. As a result, many fans have viewed this interpretation as both strategically clever and highly controversial.
Mayweather just did such a smart thing, but also a devious thing. Waiting until Pacquiao was older, waiting until he slowed down, and then...
Devious is not illegal in boxing.
It's encouraged.
Yeah. In any entrepreneurial sport, devious is not illegal.
No.
Devious can be an asset.
That's how you retire with a 50-0
I give
record.
Floyd credit for brilliance, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Floyd wasn't just a smart fighter. Floyd was a brilliant fighter. He was on his own level. And so much so, you know, in any matchup between the great counterpuncher and the great attacker, you know that the counterpuncher has the advantage. He's got more options. He's got more ways of winning. The attacker has to.
Jim Lampley expressed the view that Floyd Mayweather would likely secure another victory, summing up his confidence with a simple statement that Floyd is Floyd. He credited Mayweather's outstanding boxing intelligence, defensive expertise, and remarkable ability to control the rhythm of a fight as the primary reasons behind that prediction. In Lampley's assessment, even against a legendary opponent such as Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather's technical skill, ring knowledge, and years of experience would probably give him the advantage needed to win again.
In the years before Mayweather-Pacquiao, people would run up to me on the street, run up to me in the shopping center in Vegas, run up to me in a hotel. When am I going to see Mayweather-Pacquiao? And I would say, well, we don't know, but what exactly is it you think you're going to see? Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be such a great fight. No, it's not going to be a great fight. It's going to be watching somebody pluck the legs off a spider. All right. At a step-by-step method. And you're going to watch Mayweather pluck the legs off the spider that is Pacquiao. And it's
Oscar de la Hoya offered his perspective on the possibility of a second meeting between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, noting that it would be fascinating to watch how Mayweather approaches a rematch with the Filipino legend. He recognized that Pacquiao continues to possess exceptional hand speed, punching power, and world-class boxing ability. At the same time, de la Hoya emphasized that Mayweather's defensive mastery, vast experience, and ability to adjust during fights still make him one of the toughest challenges in the sport. He went on to say that Floyd's strategic approach frequently helps him control key moments in a bout and create advantages over his opponents. While acknowledging that boxing can always produce surprises, de la Hoya believes Mayweather would remain in a strong position to earn another victory if the two were to meet again.
Former opponents, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, 10 years after the fact. They're talking about running it back. What's your thoughts on that?
It should have happened a long time ago, obviously. I don't mind it because it'll be entertaining. I'm curious to see how Mayweather will react to Pacquiao's style again, you know? Mayweather's Mayweather. He has a great style, great defense. Probably the same thing.
The head of Manny Pacquiao Promotions rejected concerns and criticism regarding a possible rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He emphasized that both boxing legends are well aware of their place in the sport's history and the enormous attention they can still generate, particularly with reports of a substantial financial package backed by Netflix. While acknowledging that the monetary incentive is considerable, he argued that the event is about more than just revenue. He explained that both fighters have maintained a high level of preparation and conditioning, making the contest a legitimate showcase of technique, speed, strategy, and experience. From his perspective, the matchup is not simply built on publicity, but has the potential to deliver a truly competitive and hard-fought encounter for boxing fans.
Base guaranteed purses standpoint and the back end, I mean, the deal that both fighters have with Netflix is better than any other deal Netflix has done with any other boxer till today. So
let's talk. Yeah, let's talk about the purses. Can you share how much Manny and Floyd are making?
I can't share the exact number. But let's just say if you know what they're worth and they know what they're worth and they know the numbers they've done before. So if the numbers didn't make sense for either of them, they wouldn't have signed on the dotted line and we wouldn't be where we are today.
Okay, I'll ask one more. Over or under 50 million each?
Over.
Okay, that's a good benchmark to work with.
Yeah.
The first fight was billed as the fight of the century, but it failed to live up to the massive expectations, right? Fans were left with a bad taste on after the fight, Manny said he had a shoulder injury. There were some lawsuits involved. How can this fight be different 11 years later?
You know, it's very hard to explain this, but these guys are in better.
Luke Thomas noted that a potential clash between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao would be recognized as an official professional contest, meaning the result would count toward Mayweather's career record. He explained that, as a retired fighter with a perfect 50-0 mark, Mayweather would be putting that undefeated record on the line. A victory would further strengthen his legacy, while a loss or draw would permanently alter it. Thomas emphasized that, unlike the exhibition bouts Mayweather has participated in since retirement, this matchup would involve meaningful consequences. He also reflected on their original encounter, which generated tremendous excitement but ultimately failed to satisfy many casual fans. Pacquiao later revealed that a shoulder injury had limited his performance, contributing to a result that fell short of expectations. In Thomas's view, an official rematch would provide both men with a chance to redefine the narrative surrounding their rivalry and once again capture the attention of boxing fans around the world.
It will go on their record. Floyd currently has a record of 50-0. Remember, he retired at 50-0. It is possible he could go either 51-0 or now 50-1, or if it was a draw or whatever. But he's at least putting it up to be part of the professional record. Now, you might say, well, hasn't he been doing a lot of exhibitions since his retirement from boxing? And the answer is yes, about 8 of them or so. I believe he's got, by the way, a 9th coming up in April in the Democratic Republic of the Congo against, of all people, Mike Tyson. Also, just as a fresh reminder, the first fight, I didn't hate it, but a lot of people did. And remember, you'll recall Manny Pacquiao, after the fight was over, blamed his performance on his shoulder. But there was pretty widespread disappointment with just how big the fight was and then how little it delivered. Not necessarily to hardcore fans, although some of that too, but definitely to casual fans who were expecting a little bit more raw.
A potential rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather would represent much more than a typical boxing contest, blending legacy, elite skill, and years of shared history between two of the sport's greatest names. Both fighters are established icons, bringing world-class experience, proven ability, and a strong competitive spirit to the table. Pacquiao would enter the bout with a highly conditioned physique and the explosive speed he has developed through decades of disciplined training. Meanwhile, Mayweather would depend on his defensive mastery, strategic intelligence, and flawless undefeated record, which has made him extremely difficult to overcome in the ring. With the fight expected to be officially added to Mayweather's professional record, the significance of the matchup would extend far beyond an exhibition. The potential clash has already generated intense debate among fans, analysts, and critics regarding its possible outcome. Backed by a major platform such as Netflix, the event would also carry enormous commercial importance while offering a rare opportunity to revisit and possibly settle one of boxing's most historic rivalries.
That's had his downs. He's had his ups and his downs, and he always smiling and always friendly to people. It's like he's so admirable just as a human being.
And it shows too that defeats, I love how the UFC is, losses are losses.
Yeah.
Boxing has this stereotype where the zero is so important. I'm undefeated, but would you rather see the best fight and the best? We're going to get competitive fights and great fights, but unfortunately in boxing, it's not like that.
Well, the biggest draw in the sport is Canelo, and Canelo's not undefeated.
That's right.
So it's one way of looking at it. He lost.
It can be viewed differently depending on perspective, especially when discussing past results such as Floyd Mayweather's win over Canelo Alvarez. Still, the core question remains whether Manny Pacquiao's explosive speed and elite conditioning would be enough to overcome Mayweather's world-class defensive system and ring control. It sets up a classic contrast between Pacquiao's aggression and athletic output versus Mayweather's precision, timing, and defensive mastery.